radio station, $1,000 instantly. Then you get entered to win a trip to Sydney, Australia to see Taylor Swift on her 1989 tour. So you can get that. You can meet her backstage. We'll fly you there, the whole thing. We have a corporate jet.
Awesome. In Sydney.
I think it's our corporate jet we fly on. I don't know. I'm not sure about that part, but we fly you to Sydney, Australia. $1,000. Meet Taylor Swift. Yada, yada, yada. You want it? That happens at 7:35 this morning. That's your chance here on 104.3 My FM. The Battle of the Sexes coming up next.
Same bed, but it feels just a little bit bigger now.
Towards Mulholland, and Laurel actually looks the best of the three, so we do have that crash located on Beverly Glen south of Valley Vista. Our next report is at 7:15 with Southern California's most frequent traffic reports. I'm Jennifer York, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Warmer weather today, a little bit of an offshore flow out there. Temperatures getting into the upper 80s to 90s. Tomorrow, it's going to be just a little cooler. And then on Wednesday, a storm system moving into the west coast is going to cool us down a little bit. Now, I don't expect any rain from us, but we're going to see some winds. 70s for Thursday with that northwest flow kicking in. But watch out, gusty winds continue on Friday, 79 degrees. Inland temperatures into the 80s and coastal temperatures hovering into the 70s. With Southern California's most accurate, dependable forecast, I'm CBS 2 Chief Meteorologist Josh Rubenstein, KNX 1070 News Radio.
It is 60 in Fullerton this morning. Southgate has 62. Long Beach has 61. And in Santa Monica right now, also 61.
707 at KNX. We complained about this a lot when gas prices got up near $5 a gallon, but very soon they could be about half that in Southern California. Get the story from a station near USC and KNX 1070's John Baird.
Gas prices are likely to bottom out just as your holiday credit card bills roll in, so the timing may be perfect. On November 1st, we will make the switch over to the winter blend of gasoline, and that means prices should start to fall within the next week or so. Tom Closa is with the Oil Price Information Service.
I do think that we're looking at a very low price November. You might call it Lowvember.
He believes we'll see prices fall below $2.50 a gallon before they start rising again in the spring.
So I think you'll be higher. You'll be more expensive, but you won't be nearly paying the premiums that you paid in the 2015 driving season.
He says once the damaged Torrance refinery comes back online, it should help provide a buffer against price spikes like the one we saw earlier this year. Live in L.A., John Baird, KNX 1070 News Radio.
The Chargers are ready to move. They're going to file those official relocation papers, and that could lead the team to moving up the road to Carson. The team, as Mark Fabiano says, the Chargers just can't afford to sit on the sidelines.
The Carson site is now shovel-ready. It's got all of the approvals that it needs, but nothing will be happening at that site unless the NFL owners approve it. And when that happens, again, if everyone has a guess about that, but we're going to defer to whatever the owners do. It's really that simple.
Well, and by the way, we should also point out that there is a continuing effort in San Diego to get the money together to keep the team there. So we'll see how this all plays out. A separate stadium is proposed in Inglewood in case the Rams want to come here and relocate from St. Louis.
And the Raiders owner, Mark Davis, points out there have not been any talks with the city of Oakland about a new stadium for the past couple of months. He says that unless the city comes up with something, some kind of offer, there's no reason to talk. Davis and the Chargers owner, Dean Spano, say they are convinced they meet all of the NFL's relocation guidelines.
By the way, coming up at 7:21, we're going to talk to Amy Trask. She's a former CEO there at the Raiders. She knows what's going on. She knows. And so we're going to talk to her and find out exactly what is happening today as far as the Chargers.
Plan to restore a beach in Malibu that's popular with the A-listers is raising new fears about whether it will remain open to the general public. More than 100 people who live along Broad Beach will pay more than $31 million for the project, which includes new dunes and a lot of new sand. And critics say they're not convinced the project will be successful and it could lead to reduced public access.
Police in Pasadena say they chose to end that 2.5-hour
Sex.
Robert just get away. Doesn't mean that they've stopped looking for that person. The guy was accused of making criminal threats, but he took off when the police tried to stop him. Chase went through downtown, Sepulveda Pass, Pasadena. It was all over the place. I actually watched it. A lot of people devoted time and attention to watching that, and the guy got away.
You're trafficking with...
Excited this morning. I haven't had my cup of coffee, though.
Well, you do work at a small bakery. Aren't you brewing that there, too?
How small is this bakery? Like, can people fit inside of it?
No, actually, we do online sales and weddings and events like that.
All right, so you're not using easy bake ovens or something, Kevin's saying?
No.
Okay, just checking in. Brent, where do you teach at? What school?
Olive Vista Middle School, the home of the Pandas.
All right, let's give it up for the Pandas.
Yeah!
Oh, Pandas.
exciting.
We're the pandas. Here we come. Pandas are actually really mean, though.
They're bears.
They are bears. All right, here's how it works, guys. Melanie, I'm going to ask you stereotypical guy questions. Brent, Jill's going to ask you stereotypical girl questions. Best out of 3 wins, still tied at the end of regulation. We go to a not-so-tough tiebreaker question. Let's start with the ladies. The new Vin Diesel movie ranked 4th over the weekend. What's the name of that movie, Melanie?
Oh, my goodness.
The latest Vin Diesel movie. It's not Fast or Furious. I'll give you a hint.
My guess is going to be, how about Witch Hunters?
No, it's The Last Witch Hunter.
Oh!
You were close.
Very close.
Brent, what actor played the Tooth Fairy in the 2010 movie Tooth Fairy?
The Rock. Dwayne Johnson.
Yes, that's right.
Guys on board, man. Hey, by the way, after you hear the bell, don't say anything else.
Yeah.
You can stir it up.
Right.
So once you hear the bell, just stop talking. That's my recommendation. We've had people blow it after that. All right, so anyway, current score is 1-0, guys. Melanie, the Chargers plan to file papers with the NFL to leave what city?
That would be San Diego.
That would be correct. Chargers planning on filing paperwork to leave San Diego and come to LA. There's a big story breaking over the weekend.
Brent, which Peanut star carries around a blanket?
Linus.
Yes, that's right.
Current score, guys, 2-1. Here we go. You got to get this right to stay in the game. But the guys win, Melanie.
Okay.
Who released albums called License to Ill, Paul's Boutique, and Check Your Head?
Oh, man.
It's a hip-hop group. We'll give you that hint. It's a hip-hop group.
Geez, I have no idea.
Are these questions too hard? What do you think?
This one is hard.
Okay.
I'd have to have my 13-year-old kids in the car with me.
Yeah, it's actually kind of more for your generation, probably. The Beastie Boys.
Oh.
Yeah, that means, what's up, fellas? Let's do it again this week, guys.
Do not let this happen all week.
When is the last time you guys won?
Not last week, but the week before.
I think it was like July or something.
Oh, yeah.
2014.
Right.
Guys, win. You got it. Battle of the Sexes Championship certificate. Download it as a PDF printed. Hang it on your wall with pride.
Going up in the classroom.
There you go, buddy. You also got, and this will be big in your class if you want to give them out for well-behaved students or keep them for yourself, advanced screening of the Peanuts movie, plus meet the stars of the film at Knott's Berry Farm. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I'm taking my little boy.
Oh, there you go. It's in theaters November 6th, beginning this Saturday through November 20th. Give Lucy a hug and take a selfie with Charlie over at Knott's Berry Farm, Knott's.com for more information, okay?
Thanks.
Elves. There are 2 things I can't live without. My phone, because it keeps me connected to my friends, and my
Shout out to my business partner, Tasha, at hers bakery. Woohoo, girl, let's get this pie going.
Woohoo, girl. Let's get it going. What's your favorite pie? What flavor? You, Brent.
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice, get out of here.
My FM traffic next. CBS Mondays have always been
their newest office in Beverly Hills at 225 North Beverly Drive. Learn more at bostonprivate.com.
It's 7:14 on Southern California's only 24-hour news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. Good morning, I'm Dick Hill.
And I'm Vicki Moore. Coming up.
A neighbor's dispute could be behind a murder in Los Alamitos.
This is Frank Motek. Some cooling in real estate as new home sales hit the lows we've seen in nearly a year. Your money at 720.
I'm Randy Cardoon. Raiders fast start sinks the Chargers. Kings extend their win streak. Sports at 724.
And how low can they go? Predictions of big falls in gas prices this winter.
Those stories are coming up in the next 15 minutes. But first, your traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5s, brought to you by Del Taco. Here's Jennifer.
All right, so Jeff did it a hustle. He's in Sky 1. He got over at Beverly Glen. What do you find there?
You betcha. Well, there's a bad crash now. This is on the uphill side. This is southbound Beverly Glen, leaving Sherman Oaks, going over to Holmby Hills. It's on the uphill side between Valley Vista and Mulholland. And actually, the whole southbound lane is blocked and people are veering off into the northbound lane, so you really got to be careful there. There's no help on scene. Obviously, once you get past this, it's a pretty good drive into Holmby Hills.
All right, good hustle there. I'm going to go to Scott and Sky 2. Let's go to Scotty.
We're looking at the 210 right now. It's heavy back out of the Glendora area, starting about, pretty much from the 57. And looks like slowing will continue out through the 605 heading out toward Pasadena. Over to Mike at Sky 3. just over the Diamond Bar area. 57 southbound loading up, approaching Sunset Crossing. From there, it is heavy most of the way into the Orange Crush.
I want to explain why the 5 and 14 are so heavy this morning. Got a few calls still on it. There was an earlier inmate bus that had conked out. Scott was over it. They had to run a break, get a new bus in there, offload the passengers, all this kind of stuff. 5 south before the 405. That is why your 5 south is still so tough this morning, approaching the 14. And the 14 south just miserable from Sand Canyon. Our next report at 7:25 with Southern California's most frequent traffic reports. I'm Jennifer Gore, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Outside today, the temps are going to be somewhere up to the upper 80s downtown, some low 80s along the beaches for tomorrow. A little bit cooler by Wednesday and Thursday. Late Wednesday into Thursday, a chance of some little rain around the area. 62 Southgate now. Canoga has 58. Pasadena has 59.
7:16 at KNX, and a father of 2 has been shot and killed in Los Alamitos. Some police say it could be the result of a neighbor dispute. CBS 2 KCAL 9 reporter Jasmine Veal joins us live now from the scene. Jasmine?
Well, investigators are trying to find out if a neighbor dispute led to this father and husband being shot to death in broad daylight yesterday here on Catalina Street. And they have a person of interest this morning they want to speak with, 41-year-old Elizar Vargas, who police have not been able to find. Police say the victim was shot to death at close range just after 5 p.m., who neighbors have identified as Sing Ju Sung. Police say they have responded to this area for an unruly neighbor in the past, but they're not sure if that is connected to all of this. And they are telling neighbors this morning to be on alert as they continue to look for this person of interest. I'm Jasmine Veal with CBS 2 for KNX 1070.
Recent protests around L.A. against police brutality have drawn fewer supporters carrying signs and chanting demands. The recent annual national march drew only about 24 people willing to make the walk.
Another Sunday on the Venice Beach Boardwalk brings out protesters calling for a stop to fatal run-ins between the homeless and police. This third time in 3 months, about 20 people marching to the various locations where the shootings occurred, a considerably smaller turnout than the previous 2. I asked James Whitaker of the Faith in Action Commission whether these marches are having an impact in efforts to change police policy.
I mean, that's certainly a fair question to ask. To me, the alternative is doing nothing, and that's not an acceptable alternative. So I'm doing what I can with my friends here to continue bringing awareness.
Whitaker says they'll be going back until they do see some changes, but acknowledges it's getting tougher to get people to come out. Ron Kilgore, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Pasadena police say complaints of homeless panhandling and aggressive behavior over the past year up, despite a nearly 50% drop in the city's transient population. They also say about 20% of the city's total arrests in the past 8 months have involved homeless people.
And several workers at the Las Vegas hospital where Lamar Odom was treated for an overdose have been fired because they tried to take pictures of him. TMZ reported some employees also tried to access Odom's medical records. He's now at Cedars-Sinai here in L.A. and is under security 24 hours a day.
Why the real estate market is cooling down a little bit in Southern California. Frank Motek has more in your Money News 2 minutes away at 7:18.
When searching help to eliminate mortgage, credit card, or business debt, search Oak Tree Law.
Home Hero is the fastest, most affordable way to find quality in-home care for seniors. They have thousands of highly qualified professional heroes that provide a variety of services to ensure the best care for your loved ones. All heroes are licensed with a thorough background check and video.
KNX's alert system.
% lower than traditional agencies, Home Heroes provided care to thousands of families nationwide. Match with a hero today. Visit homehero.org. That's homehero.org.
Hi, I'm Joan London. And if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. With one phone call, you'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information. It's a free service, so call now.
800-391-1755. 800-391-1755.
CBS Tonight, the hit drama Scorpion is supersized.
We are trying to save lives.
This is a big day for Scorpion. Scorpion's biggest episode yet. All new CBS Tonight.
It's 7:20. It's time for your money. Here's Frank.
Well, real estate feeling a cool breeze out there with sales of new homes plunging sharply last month to the lowest levels we've seen in nearly a year. Higher prices and slower overall economic growth weighing on the housing sector despite near record low mortgage rates. According to the Commerce Department, new home sales plunged 11.5% nationwide last month. Taking a look at another important reading out today for the National Association for Business Economics, a new survey finds a drop in the number of economists who are optimistic on economic growth for the rest of the year. The survey also notes that 1/3 of economists say there's a shortage of skilled workers, and on pay, 44% expect their companies to boost wages. That's the weakest outlook in nearly a year. The Fed will be taking a closer look at all of this when they meet this week to decide the direction of interest rates. At this point, economists are expecting no rate hike this month. The Dow right now, ahead of that big meeting, down 19 points. NASDAQ down 13, and the S&P 500 down 6. The market coming off a string of 4 weeks of gains. And the more big merger news, Pet Boys being bought out by Bridgestone Americas in a nearly $1 billion deal. Duke Energy is buying Piedmont Natural Gas. That deal valued at nearly $5 billion. Next report coming up at 7:50. We check your money at 20 and 50 each hour. Frank Motek, KNX 1070 News Radio.
7:21 at KNX. The Chargers and the Raiders played in San Diego over the weekend, and both are talking in an upbeat fashion, some might say, about a move to Los Angeles.
I said earlier that Amy Trask, our NFL analyst at CBS Sports, former CEO of the Oakland Raiders, knows everything. So we're going to put her on the spot because, Amy, good morning to you. We know that the Chargers have plans to file for relocation. They're going to do that after the first of the year. But are we still in the process stage of this? I mean, thus far, nobody's actually going to be playing football in Los Angeles in a year and a half or 2 years from now.
Well, good morning to you as well, and you're absolutely correct. It is another step in the process, and it's a step about which none of us should be surprised. Each of the 3 teams that has indicated an interest in Los Angeles seems fully committed to being in Los Angeles. Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, talked yesterday about having purchased land, fully entitled, and doing all of those things in the Los Angeles market. And as you noted, the Chargers have indicated that they will file the papers for relocation. It is exactly what you said, another step in the process.
And we know in San Diego, there is still an effort underway to try to come up with money to put together a new stadium to keep the Chargers at home. So it would seem as though the Chargers have a lot of leverage right now.
Well, leverage is what leverage is at the moment. I do believe you're 100% right that the league is going to finesse this to try to give at least 1 or 2 of the teams seeking to relocate as much leverage as possible. One thing the league might do in that regard is simply put one team into Los Angeles, say to